Hello, happy Monday. Hopefully we don't have technical difficulties. My Wi-Fi is doing its typical thing of not working, so it's fine. But hello, I hope that you guys can hear me loud and clear and I'm not cutting out. I am super excited to chat about this topic tonight. It actually is a topic that I have touched on many of times before, but I wanted to bring somebody else on to chat about it also. So Brielle is going to join us as well, as long as her Wi-Fi also lets her, because we live in the same neighborhood and the Wi-Fi in this neighborhood hates everybody. So I'm hoping that her Wi-Fi works for this, because I know she's been taking notes and has a really strong message on her heart to share. So let's start out with, of course, I know that y'all have put some in the chat, but let's fill the chat with our I ams, our gratitude, all the things that that we're working for, all the things that we're envisioning. And I'm going to chat a little bit while y'all are doing that, because I want to talk a little bit about vision. I know we had Maria on last week and she shared where her vision started all the way down to the trees in her current front yard, right? Like we heard about that and we talked about that, but I don't think that people, and I know some do, but I still think that there are a few people that don't understand the importance of this vision and the importance of why I start this chat every single Monday with our I ams, because it's something as simple as the trees in your front yard that you need to envision. If for me, in 3 years ago, when I started this journey with this company, I envisioned, and I didn't even realize that I wanted a pool. I'm just going to tell you all this. I did not realize that I wanted a pool. And I just kept envisioning my family in water, like at a pool, not my pool per se, but like making memories. And this last week, as I was sitting in our concrete hole, because if you've ever built a pool, well, it's a process. So as I was sitting in our concrete hole and I was looking at my husband and my son, and I just was like, holy shit. Like, it was like deja vu. And it was exactly what I had 3 years ago, before I even knew Rob, before I had Rylan. It was exactly what I envisioned. Y'all, when I say that you need to speak it to the universe, when I say that you need to envision, when I say that you have to believe, it's because the only way things happen and the only way that things become reality is if you go ahead and you make them that way. But if you are so trapped in thinking in a small square and not willing to envision what your life will be like in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, you're already capping yourself. And I'm reading the book Rich as Fuck right now by Amanda Frances. And if you have not read it yet, I highly suggest it. It is probably, I'm not a reader. And if you have been here a while, you're probably like, wait, Lindsay's reading a book. Like, is the world ending? Possibly, but I am reading a book. And for me, it has been a huge game changer. I'm on chapter 4 and I got it 2 days ago. So y'all do the math there. And the chapters are pretty long. I just get wrapped up into it. There's homework at the end of it. And it's just something that if you have not read it, I highly suggest you reading it. But she talks about being what I literally wrote down this quote because I was like, holy shit, like I relate to that. And it's not necessarily a quote, but she said, you have to be an unrealistic goal achiever. Unrealistic goal achiever. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's literally what we do for a living. This is self-development with a paycheck, right? But to me, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I do. That's what we do. We take unrealistic goals that society put on the world and we make them happen for ourselves. We take unrealistic goals to maybe your next door neighbor or the person who lives across the street, and we turn them into our reality. But the way that happens is by not allowing limiting beliefs to creep in. And for the longest time, I actually didn't believe in limiting beliefs. I just thought fear is fear. It was just another word for fear for me, right? Until I realized that they are so different. Fear is something that you literally won't do because like you're afraid of it. You literally won't do it because it's an actual fear. Limiting beliefs to me are something that you tell yourself. They're things that you've made up in your own head. They're things that you feel. If you're an overthinker or you have anxiety, you have limiting beliefs. Hey, hi, hello. I realized for the first time, I'm 27, and it hit me this month, the difference between fear and limiting beliefs. And that my whole life, I wasn't afraid of things. I had limiting beliefs. And it's a huge game changer when you can take a piece of paper and you can write down, and I want to challenge everybody to do this, is I want you to write down on a piece of paper tonight after this. I want you to write down all of your fears. And then on another sheet of paper, I want you to write down all of those limiting beliefs. And then what I want you to do is I want you to start looking at those fears, and I want you to tell yourself things that you can do to overcome them. Because for fears, you have to overcome them. You have to do the work to overcome them, right? You have to do the tasks. You have to do the things. If you're afraid of, right now I did a one-on-one and somebody was afraid of going to get a pedicure since COVID. And I was like, okay, that's a fear. Let's work on getting over it. I said, go next week and schedule a pedicure. She did it. She felt amazing. That is getting over a fear, right? Limiting beliefs are things we tell ourselves. Like, I can't post. They're going to judge me. I can't do this. I can't do that. That's not a fear. Those are things that you're telling yourself and you're overthinking in your head because you think other people are going to say something. Limiting beliefs have a lot to do with and I don't want you to take this wrong, but it has a lot to do with self-worth. And from somebody who had a lot of limiting beliefs, I'm going to say that those changed when I started to believe in myself. My limiting beliefs, now I'm not saying I don't have any because I'm human and I have a lot. I still have a lot that I'm working through. Still have a lot, and I always will. I don't think that you're ever at a point where you don't have fears or you don't have limiting beliefs. And I'm not somebody who's going to sit here and preach and say, you know what, if you do this, this, and this, all of that's going to go away. Because it's not that easy, right? We're humans. We have to tear back the layers within ourselves. But that starts with being willing to lead yourself. That starts with not worrying about how your upline feels, how your sideline feels, how your downline feels, and not in a way of like how they feel like, oh, do they like me? Because drama doesn't build business. I mean, how they feel is if you're in this business to please your upline, if I'm your upline, I'm just going to tell you right now, like, nah. You don't need to please me. You don't owe me anything. You don't owe me any explanation. You owe me diddly squat. If you are in this and you're like, oh my gosh, my downline is going to be so mad at me if I do this. You are not in this business to work your downline's business. You are in this business for you. You are in this business for your babies. You are in this business for your future, for your family, for you. If you feel so worried about what somebody else is going to think, even if they're your upline, and even if it's me, if I personally enrolled you, you know, I will never, ever tell you what your goal is. I won't. If your goal is to thrive for free, then baby girl, we're thriving for free. That's my goal for you. If your goal is 4K, that's my goal for you. If your goal is one customer, one promoter, that's my goal for you. If your goal is just to get out of your shell and post more, that's my goal for you. I am never going to sit here and tell you you need to be a 200K leader. I am never going to sit here and tell you that you need to run for a bonus. What I will say is these bonuses are amazing. And if it's something that you want, I am here to run with you. But I'm never going to tell you that that has to be your goal. People join this business every single day with no want to build a business. Zero want to build a business. And guess what? They are just as worthy as the person who wants to build to 200K. You have to love people where they're at, and it starts with loving yourself where you're at. And that starts with working through those limiting beliefs. I need you to write down your limiting beliefs sometime tonight. And I know we normally get off here around 10 p.m. Eastern, so it's a little late. But trust me when I say you need to brain dump your limiting beliefs. You need to brain dump your fears, because you're going to start to see those limiting beliefs and those fears on paper, and you're going to be like, no, I'm actually pretty badass. Like, inner Karen, shut up. No, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to shut the inner Karen up, because if you're not, she's always going to be asked and talk to the manager. Like, it is what it is. Okay. You have that within your brain, and you have to be willing to turn it off. You have to be willing to say, you know what? I'm worth more. My dreams are worth more. My family is worth more than worrying about what Sally Joe Bob down the road is going to say to you when you're going to get the mail. Like, who cares? Who cares? You are worth so much more, but it starts with leading a team of one, which is you. And I've said this so many times, but I felt it on my heart with it being the second, not last month. Next month is the last month of bonus season, right? I checked my reps closest to rank report, and we have so many people that are so dang close to life-changing bonuses. So many people. And I was like, you know what? So many people, when they hit a rank, all of a sudden they get in their head and they think they have to act a certain way. Or you think you have to show up as a 4K leader, show up as a 12K leader, show up as this, show up as that. But the truth is, you just have to show up as you. When I say in here has to arrive first, I mean the mental work, the hard work, the self-development, the clearing those limiting beliefs. I don't mean you have to show up as a 4K. Y'all, what the fuck does that even mean? What are these expectations that you put on these ranks? I need you to remove them and realize that you're going to get to where you want to be. You're going to thrive for free. You're going to be a 4K. You're going to be a 40K. You're going to be a 200K. You're going to be what you want to be when you decide. Not when you sit down with a ton of expectations that then overwhelm you and make you feel like you're less than. We are not, and I can tell you right now, this team is not here to make anybody feel less than. Because I'm going to tell you right now, not a single one of us is worth more than the other. Whether you have 100,000 in volume or $1 in volume, your worth is not defined by volume. Your worth is not defined by volume. You need to take some time and grow you. If you want to maintain, if you want to thrive for free, if you want to rank up, if you want to drive a free car by Lavelle, whatever it is that you want, I want that for you. But first and foremost, I want you to believe in you. I want you to take the time to lead a team of one. I need you to take the time and be your biggest runner. I don't care if you're your only promoter. You be your biggest runner. You want 4K? Go and enroll 4K. Don't think that you need another promoter underneath you to then work. No, you be your biggest runner. You go and you light that fire underneath your team, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not willing to lead yourself and set the temperature for your team for yourself, how are you going to do it if you have 13 people messaging you all at once? I need you to grow you. People ask me all the time, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I get my team moving? You don't get anybody moving. You get yourself moving. That is the biggest thing. You don't worry about anybody else's business. As a leader, I love every single one of you guys. You know that. If you're in my inbox, if you're on my team, you know, I appreciate every single one of you guys so dang much. My family's lives have been changed forever because of this business and because of every single one of you guys. But I'm going to tell you right now that if you came to me and you said, Linz, you're harmful to me, I would say, you know what, baby girl, I'm here if you need me. Why? Because you don't need me. This is going to sound weird, right? As a leader, you don't need me to succeed. You don't need your sideline sisters to succeed. You don't need Em or Katie or Britt or whoever else to succeed. You know who you need to succeed? Is you. That's who you need to succeed. If you're waiting for your team to get moving, why aren't you moving? If you're wondering why people aren't reaching out to you, but you're not even posting on social media and doing full rounds of IPAs, where do you think they're going to come from? You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to be a team of one, whether you're a 200K or somebody who has zero volume. Because I can tell you right now, my business, I love every single one of you guys, but my business, I don't count on people running every single month. I count on me running. I know what I need to do for my business, and that's what I do. Do you know what you need to do for your business? Ask yourself, if you had to set a goal for yourself for this week, and it's getting close to the end of month, so most people are going to start running. But let me ask you something. If you ran as fast as you did at the end of the month, in the first week, in the second week, and the third week of the month, would you need to be so stressed at the end of the month? What is different from day 1 to day 31? Why does the work ethic need to change? Why does the fire lit underneath you need to change? And it can switch. Some people start the first day of the month running, and by the end of the month, they already gave up. Those are limiting beliefs. If it doesn't happen for you this month, guess what? It's March. You have a ton more months, 1 of this year. And then 2, you have a whole nother year next year, and a whole nother year after that, and a whole nother year after that. Why are you setting an expiration date for your own success? Success does not have expiration dates. You might put on your calendar, I want to be 4K by March 31st. But guess what? If it doesn't happen, does that mean that April 1st you just give up? No, that just means, okay, you know what? April's my month. And if it doesn't happen, does that mean in May you give up? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you give up in May, it may happen in June, but you'll never know because you won't be here. I have sent year after every single year that I've been in business, I send in our team page, and I did it this year already, some people that have walked away, and I show their volume, not to like do anything, right? Not to say anything, but just to show the volume and where they would be at. Every single time we have a bonus, I show somebody that walked away that would have earned a bonus. Right now, I have somebody who walked away that this month would be earning a $200,000 bonus. Y'all, think about it. You have to be willing to show up on the days that isn't happening for you, because these days are the days that you light your fire. These days are the days that you prove to yourself you're worth more and that you get to choose your hard. Being broke is hard. Being successful is hard. Choose your hard. Because I can tell you right now, I know which hard I'm choosing every single day. So I'm going to pass it off to Brielle, because I know she's got her good analogies and her good for y'all, because you know, that girl has wisdom for days. Where are you, B?
You already know. I have my analogy at the top of the page that came to my head. I'm like, this is what we gonna do. So right before, it's funny because we're actually like, I feel like me and Linz have been on like the same wavelength lately. Like I'll be texting her something and then she sends me a voicemail, who does voicemails anymore? Voice memos, like saying the same thing. I'm like, so we were like kind of on the same wavelength with that. And then, so what I told her that I wanted to talk about with this business, and it's going to sound really weird, but this business is about you, but it's also not about you. This business is about you, but it's also not about you. And I want to get to the root of first, the part that it's not about you. And what's perfect is I listened to a podcast this morning that really gets to the root of the it's not about you part. And it was a sermon, and it's the Elevation podcast, but he had a guest speaker. Usually it's Stephen Furtick. It was a guest speaker, and it was called No Crown. And he was talking about that they're, a carbon monoxide detector, right? Here's analogy number 1 for you. There's we have carbon monoxide in my house. They're like a code now. They used to not be, but now they are. You have to have them And, sure, we had smoke detectors, fire detectors, and all of that stuff, but that's stuff that you can see, right? You can smell the smoke, you can see fire, you can see the smoke, but what can't you see? You can't see carbon monoxide. It's odorless, you can't see it. And he said that the he calls it its round. The silent killer to your business and the root of the limiting beliefs that is your secret killer to your business is pride. Pride is the secret killer to your business. And this is where the it's not about you part of my little thing comes in, because it's on the surface, you might think it's anxiety and you're worrying about like, oh, I'm so worried about if people are gonna say this about me. I'm so worried about if I'm not successful. I'm so anxious about going live because what if no one hops on? That's a pride thing. Who cares if no one goes on your live and they rewatch it later? Who cares if you mess up while you're doing your live? Who cares if something happens and your kids go crazy on your live? It's real life. I go live and my kids go crazy all the time. I go live and I mess up on my words and I say the wrong thing. I go live and my signal cuts out and just shuts me off. And I'm like, talking and it just shuts off in the middle. Oh, well, I did it. My imperfect, messy, crazy life self, and I did it. Why? Because I don't care. Because my whole initiative is it's not about me right now. When I go live, it's not about me. It's about the people I'm talking to. It's about who I can help. It's about what message I can get across right now. It's not about me. It's not, okay, I need to go live so I can get a customer today. Oh, I need to go live so, I can get my bonus. I need to go live so I can like get some people in my system and grow my team. No. When I go live, it's not about me, right? When I go into my Instagram or my Facebook, it's not about me. And so many of us, you won't go live, you won't go face to face, you won't put yourself out there, you won't make reels, you won't do all of that because you're too busy worrying about what other people are going to say to you. Can I tell you really quick? I was someone, and I'm saying this and I'm preaching this, and this is coming from someone, recovering people pleaser, recovering someone who had a issue. If there was one person in the whole wide world that didn't like her, it would tear me down. If one person didn't like me, I was like, oh my gosh, how can I make it better? Like, how can I make them like me? Like, right? What did I do wrong? And you want to like correct the situation. And guess what? God gave me a huge wake up call and was like, Brielle, you need to fix this complex because this is actually a pride thing with you. You don't need everybody to like you. You don't need everybody to approve of you. You don't need everybody to cheer for you. You don't even need everybody to pat you on the back and cheer for you. You need to cheer for you. And it's not even about you, Brielle. It's not about you. It's about the people that you can help and you can impact, period. Stop making it about you. So what? So-and-so said this about you. You know what? You know you, period. You know who you are. You know your character. You know the truth. You know who you are. And that's all that matters, right? When you go live and you're like, oh, I'm worried people are going to think I'm salesy. Well, are you? Or do you know you? You know you're not being salesy. You know your intentions. You know you want to help people. You know you're trying to build something better for your family. So what does it matter what other story people are trying to play in your ears? What does it matter? Because you know your truth, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But we're allowing pride to get in the way because we want everybody else to like us, or we have this indecisiveness factor and we go, oh, I'm just indecisive, I can't make decisions. No, you won't make a decision because you're like, well, what if I fail? What if I mess up? Well, what if people talk about me? So instead of making a decision to do something that could make an impact, instead of making a decision that's something that could change your family's life, you're allowing something else to get in the way, right? And that's what causes those limiting beliefs. is the root of it. The roots, the limiting beliefs is the tree that you can see, right? You can see that you're speaking that out loud. I can't go live. No one's interested. My family says it's a joke, right? That's what you can see. But the root and underneath is the pride in it. And we need to dig that up. You need to get your shovel and you need to start digging, and we need to uproot that. And that tree needs to go. It's a bad tree. Okay. It's not going to do any fruit for you. Okay. So the other thing, because this was such a good podcast, and he said, humility is the hinge. Humility is the hinge to open doors to your life. So when you are humble, like truly humble, is something, Lynn's, it was hilarious because of course I've talked to Lynn's about like all the things. I'm like, oh my gosh, all this going on. And she's like, listen, if someone ever says anything to me, they're like, Lindsay, you're the worst person ever in the world, whatever. And she goes, thank you. It's like, I'm like, thank you. Okay. Because she knows her, right? She knows herself. So I'm working on that complex. Just go, thank you. Like, thanks. Have a nice day. You know, hope you don't trip on your way out, you know, whatever the case may be, right? And that, I think, has been the biggest thing that honestly, with the struggles that I went through last year, and if you know, you know, it taught me to humble myself and to realize, Brielle, it's not about you. Sometimes people are going to hate on you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to think what you do is a joke. They're going to, whatever the case may be, right? They're going to say whatever they want to say. But it's actually not about you. It's a them thing. It's their own insecurities. It's their own issues they got to work on. It's not your job. See, we're in the business of fixing people. We can help them. We can give them the resources, but it's not our job to literally take all the tools and fix them. And we're not mechanics. We don't fix people. That's not our job. And I think we get frustrated, which is another problem, is we get frustrated when we bring people on our team like, woohoo, yay, like I'm changing lives, like let's go. Like I got people on my team, and then you get frustrated because they're not showing up. You get frustrated because they're not messaging you back. You get frustrated because whatever the case may be. That's a pride thing. Why does it matter to you? And why are you getting frustrated because someone else isn't showing up for themselves? Right? Like, let's say you go to the gym and you're running on your treadmill and you're going full speed and you're like, I'm going. And then the lady next to you, she's just like doing a little walk. Are you going to get like mad at her? Like, why aren't you running faster? Don't you want to get in shape? I don't understand why you're not. That's her body. It's her health. It's her life, right? It's the same with this business. Your job as a leader is to be there. Hey, I'm here. I'm here when you need me. Okay, awesome. What do you need? Okay, let me help you. Let me give you the resources. And then you lead from the front. You know how many things my kids, I don't even have to teach them. I didn't have to go through a tour of our kitchen. We just moved in the end of January, if you don't know. Me and Lynn's are neighbors now. It's fine. And I love it. And, you know, I didn't have to give my kids a tour. They just watched where I went and how I did things. And now they know where everything is because they watched me. There are things that my kids say and they do. And it's not because I sat down with them and guided them through everything and made them do it. And I said, repeat after me, blah, blah. Some stuff they just watched and they saw me do it so much that they do it now. You know what I mean? Like you as a leader, if you're going live and you're showing up and you're doing what you need to do and you're doing your IPAs and you're showing up on the trainings, your girls will follow suit. They will. Your girls, your boys, whatever, your team, they'll follow suit. So what was the other stuff that I had? Oh, the other thing that I think we don't talk about a lot, but I think it's a thing, right? It's a thing. It's another part of that root of pride. Is when you ever, and I'm literally everything I'm saying I'm guilty of. Hello, I'm guilty Sally, whatever you want to call it. Okay, literally so guilty of this. I don't know if anyone else can relate. Is like why is no one paying attention to me? Like they complimented her and they shouted her out, but like what about me? Like I thought I did a good post today. Like, whatever the case may be, right? Like, how come she's getting shouted out and I'm not? Or the whole thing that, like, because you're not the center of attention. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It is. It's a hard pill to swallow. And most of us, if we are struggling with pride, because of our pride, we won't admit that we have pride because we're prideful. But the thing of it is it's not about, like, sometimes, even as a leader, sometimes your girls, like, you bring someone in, but they might learn from another leader. That's the beauty of the team and the tribe that we have, is that, like, there's stuff I learned from Linz, there's stuff I learned from Katie, there's stuff I learned from Em, there's stuff I learned from Britt, there's stuff I learned from Rebecca or Jenna or, like, other girls, Ariel, whatever, right? Jen. I learned from all kinds of people. It doesn't have to be, and it's not like Lindsay's gonna get mad at me, like, I can't believe you didn't come to me. I can't believe you went and messaged so-and-so and, like, talked to her. What does it matter? I'm learning, I'm growing, and whatever helps me learn, whatever helps my girls learn and grow, yes, that's the goal, isn't it? The goal isn't for you to be the center of attention, and the goal isn't for everyone to go, oh my gosh, Brielle is the best leader in the whole entire world and she changed my life. Homegirl, I did not change your life. You changed your life. When you decided, I'm going to take a step, you decided, you got in my inbox, or you got in Lindsay's inbox, and you got in whoever, you took that first step to get in some person's inbox you probably didn't even know and said, I need more. And then you press the promoter button. And then what did you do? You listened to the trainings, right? Then you made your first post. Then you did that work. You changed your life. I can give you all the resources all day. As leaders, we can give all we want. We can do all the trainings. But if you don't take that next step, your life won't change. It doesn't matter how wonderful leader is. If I show up, if I don't put in the work, then nothing's going to change. Nothing will change if I don't change. So give yourself some credit too. It's not about me or so giving your leader the glory or making your leader proud. One of my girls said to me, she's like, I just want to make you proud. I'm like, girl, it's not about me. I want you to be proud. That's the ultimate goal. I'm already proud of you. I'm already proud of you for wanting more for yourself and wanting to grow as a person, right? That's my goal. I want you to be proud of you. I want you to see the beauty that I already see in you. I want you to show up every day and see the kind of person that we envision. As leaders, when people come in, we envision everything for them, and we envision that. Isn't that like the ultimate goal, right? So this is another thing that I just kind of want to, I guess, leave with, was like, it was funny because they were talking about, because this is my biblical part of me, but like he talked about a scripture that there was this guy, and if you don't know the Bible, or if you do know the Bible, there's this guy, John the Baptist, who is Jesus's cousin or whatever. And John the Baptist was born first, right? And then Jesus was born after. So John the Baptist is this big, obviously, he baptizes people, whatever the case may be. And there's this part where this group of people go to John and they're like, John, look at all those people getting baptized by Jesus. Like, basically, like, aren't you like jealous? Like, aren't you worried? Like, look, like all these people are going to Jesus and getting baptized, and like, that's your job. Like, you're not getting some of this glory right now, Jesus is. And he was like happy, because he was like, that my purpose is fulfilled. I went first, I did my job, and now I get to see someone else succeed. I get to see someone else, like, you pass the baton type of thing, right? It wasn't about him and him getting the glory. Who cares if so-and-so is baptizing more people? Who cares if so-and-so's volume's higher than yours? Who cares if so-and-so's is enrolling more than you? Then you step up your game. If she can do it, you can do it, period. So I'm gonna say this last little thing, and then I'll leave you guys for the night. But I could have let my pride tear down my business last year, because in May last year, 2020, I hit 40K. And then the next month, and I wrote down all my volume. The next month's June, 24,000 in volume. July, 26,000 in volume. August, 23,000 in volume. September, 23,000 in volume. October, 18,000 in volume. You know how hard of a fight it was for me with myself and my pride? My purpose and my pride were in a battle. My purpose and what I know I'm meant to do is this business. I know I'm meant to not change life, because I can't ultimately change people, but I can impact. I can influence. I can inspire. But then my pride was like, girl, you dipped to 18. Like, no one's going to take you serious. Like, you're not a real leader. You're not meant for this. Like, all those people that said all those things about you, they were right. You are this. You are that. You are a fake. You are all in that. And I was in a battle with my purpose and my pride. And then lots of self-development, lots of talks, lots of trainings, lots of affirmations, lots of I ams, lots of all of that stuff. And it slowly kind of started to creep back up again. And not that it's all about the volume, but I'm telling you, I feel like your volume is almost like a representation of like your growth. And like now, right now, first of all, February, my team ended at 31K. Holy freaking crap. The shortest month of the year. And now we're sitting at the 22nd of the month, and we're at over 34,000. We're going to be over 40 this month. But if I would have allowed my pride to take over from my purpose, I wouldn't be sitting here right now with you guys talking on a Zoom. All the girls that came back to my team the past month or two wouldn't have come back and running. One girl, she hit her VIP 1,608 days. That wouldn't have happened. Where would she, like, I wouldn't be working with her. I wouldn't be able to see that. So as hard as it is sometimes, pride isn't always like the stuck-up person who walks in a room and has their nose up to anyone. Sometimes it's just those little tiny things that you can't even see. Pride to get in the way of your purpose, because it's not about you, it's about the impact you can make. But at the end of the day, it also is about you, because you started this for you. So don't give up on you. Don't give up on your purpose. Don't give up on why you started. And when you get in your head and all of that, you need to write down. I remember Lynn's told me when I was having a freaking breakdown last year, and she said to me, I'll start crying again. And she said to me, we're standing outside her house, and she goes, and I'm like crying, and I'm like, why is this happening? I don't understand why I'm going through this. And she said, what is your why? And I just started crying hysterically. And I said, because I want other women to know that they can stand back up. And she goes, so then you hold on to that. And that's what you keep holding on to. So what is your why? And that's what you hold on to. Period. That's what you hold on to. Okay, I'm done.
I love you. That was so good. But she is lying. We stood outside getting eaten by mosquitoes because Florida. And I said she was ready to just quit. And I said, well, why did you start? Because y'all, I will never, ever convince somebody to stay. I will never, ever convince somebody that they need this business. I will never, ever convince somebody that they need me as a leader. I will never, ever convince somebody to stay in a chat or a team page or whatever it may be. I just want to know why you said yes. And if that why is strong enough for you to keep fighting, then you keep fighting. If it's not, I don't have anything for you at that point, you know? So if your why is strong enough to keep fighting, I need you to keep fighting, not for me, but for you. So I want to do a little interactive with our hands up kind of thing, and follow me here, because I want to do some limiting beliefs with y'all, because the biggest thing of limiting beliefs is people tend to think that I know that when I was working through limiting beliefs, I thought I was the only person who felt this way about myself. I thought that I was the only one getting judged, or I was the only one having XYZ going on in my head. And so I would love if we could come together and be honest, and just kind of raise your hand if you've ever had this limiting belief in your mind before, because I want to show you that you are not alone. I want to show you that other people have similar doubts. Other people go through this. And the thing of it is, you have to go through it. You have to go through it. So raise your hand if you have ever posted a picture and then looked at your likes and felt like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough likes. Should I take this down? Look at all those hands. Okay, raise your hand if you have ever second guessed yourself on a caption because you were so worried about what somebody else was going to think, or if they thought, or if somebody else was going to say something to you. Okay, raise your hand if you have ever not posted for a day or not posted something because you were nervous of what others were going to think. Got all those hands going up in the chat, in the participation section. Raise your hand if you have ever thought that maybe you weren't cut out for this and that this maybe wasn't for you. Hey, hi, hello. I almost quit 2 years ago, y'all. Okay? Raise your hand if you have ever wondered if you will ever earn a bonus or if you will ever hit the rank that you want to hit. Okay. Raise your hand if you have ever said to yourself, that's impossible when a promo or a bonus comes out. There's no way that I can do this. Raise your hand if you have ever watched another sideline sister or an upline and said, why is it working for her and not for me? Okay, y'all, do you see all those hands? Do you see all those limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves? There are so many more, and I could keep going on. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but every single one of them, I raised my hand. Those are ones that are in my brain. Those are ones I have worked through. Y'all, you have to be willing to overcome the limiting beliefs in your head, to realize, because when I said that out loud and you saw all those hands being raised, because basically everybody raised their hands, y'all, did it make you feel more included? Did it show you that this is not you against the world? This is not you against a team. This is a team wrapped around you. This is a team here for you. If you want this, I need you to remember why you started. I need you to pull all of those limiting beliefs out of your head. And I need you to start saying your I ams that counteract those limiting beliefs. I need you to start believing in you. Every single person is going to go through a limiting belief. Every single person at one time in their business is going to question themselves. We're humans. Y'all know my story. 2.5 years ago, I almost quit. 2.5 years ago, I was barely maintaining 40K. 2.5 years ago, my life looked so dang different. A year after that, my life completely changed. It took 1 year, let alone the year after that. And then let alone this year, we're only 3 months in. I was texting Em earlier, and I'm running for the 200K on Rob's account. And we were on track. We're not really on track right now. But she asked me how I felt about it. Because fun fact about me is every time I didn't earn something, I told Em I was quitting. Hey, hi, hello. I sent her a text. I had a hissy fit. I was like, this isn't for me. I'm not meant to be here. I'm quitting. Clearly didn't quit. Clearly meant to be here. Clearly I grew up. It's fine. My glow up, my grow up, it was real. But she asked me how I was. She was like, are you okay? And I said, you know what? This isn't about me. This is my selfless year. This is about how many people I can help earn a bonus. This is not about how many bonuses I can earn. This is about how many bonuses you guys can earn. This is about how many months you guys can thrive for free. This is about you. So when Brielle said, it's about you, but it's not about you, that's what it means. When you flip the script in your head and you tell yourself, who can I impact? You cannot change anybody's life. The only person who can change their life is yourself. I changed my life. I have not changed just any of y'all's life, but what I have done is hopefully impact at least one of you guys. And that's what it's about. When you flip it to how can I impact, Instantly, you go from selling to sharing. Stop trying to sell our company. Stop trying to sell the products, y'all. I need you to share the company and I need you to share the products. Lead with you, because with you being your best personal testimony and your best personal experience, that is how people are going to be in your inbox. Not because X, Y, and Z earned a $12,000 bonus. They want to know how that will impact them. They want to know what it's going to do for them, because every single one of us hit that promoter button for things for us, right? I know I became a promoter because I wanted to change my life. I'm a promoter now because I want to impact other people's lives. You have to bring it back to day one. It's about them. It's not about you. So if you ask me why people aren't in your inbox or why you're not enrolling, I need you to look at your social media and I need to see if you're being about you or if you're being about us. Are you being about us as a whole? Who can you impact? Or is it me, 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 me? It's about you. It's about you impacting others. Okay, so when we say it's about you, but it's not about you, that's what we mean. You can't be in this industry to serve only yourself. I'm sure you could make some money, but you're not going to make generational vision. Generational vision and generational success comes from you wanting to envision life in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50, 100 years when you're not even here. And how you're going to impact the world when you're not here. And if your social media doesn't leave an impact, because let's be real, when we're not here, all that's left is pictures and memories and social media accounts, because the internet never goes away, right? But your posts are going to be here. Do you want to be known as somebody who only was in it for them, or somebody who impacted so many people's lives? I got in this to impact at least one person's life, and I hope every single day that is what I do. So I hope that the rest of this week and the rest of this month, you really, really dive into your self-limiting beliefs and your self-doubts within yourself. Write them out and combat them with an I am. Combat them with a vision. Combat them with whatever you can, because they're exactly what it is. They're limiting. They're limiting you in all aspects of your life. You are not the only one who feels this way. And I hope that tonight showed you that you are not you against the world, or you against your sideline, or you against your upline. It's you and your sideline, you and your upline, you and our entire team. There is no you against anybody here. We're not in competition. Your sideline sister winning is proof it can be done. Your upline doing something is proof it can be done. Your downline winning, your downline doing something, that's proof it can be done. You are proof it can be done. Go prove it to yourself. Go leave an impact. Okay, that is where you're going to thrive for free. That is where you are going to earn bonuses. That is where you're going to earn a bonus business, and it's going to build something so beyond amazing. So I hope that you guys have a good rest of your night and a good week, and I'll talk to you guys next Monday. Bye guys. Love you.